Sweden is totally dead in some areas. So something must be done. And this put the pressure on that you prepare the water in such a good quality that it can be recovered for many more purposes than it is today. In Sweden, we have no driving force at all to recover the water. We must protect our treatment plant for the huge rainfall. But in countries like India, you have already done a lot. It happens also in the US and especially in Israel, which is a leading country in this. We are working together in a pilot plant where we have basic research and applied research, and we include small and medium-sized companies and one big company, Xylem Solution. Together, we try to develop this solution by doing realistic research in such a scale that it can be upscaled to full scale. We are talking about also pharmaceutical residues. The richer we are, the more medicine we consume. There is a strong link between that. Don't ask me why, but it also comes out. The residues from this medicine comes out. We have been measuring now for 5 years. It comes out from everyone because the doctors are not able to give you the correct dosage, so something will come out. You will find it out from the treatment plants, out in the lakes, rivers. We can follow the concentration goes up. Is this problematic? No one really knows. It might depend on if you let out more Viagra or something else. But people feel more and more that maybe we should do something. So we have tried for a long time to evaluate different technologies, like here. We prolong the time in the biological treatment. We use ozone. We use reverse osmosis, activated carbon. With activated carbon and ozone and reverse osmosis, you can come to very low level for most of them. We have chosen the 60 most important. We are now in a situation that we will run a pilot scale. We have 2 cities in Sweden willing to install this in full scale. Not because it's a regulation, but because they feel they will be in the front to prepare the water much better for the citizen in those 2 towns. But when talking about reuse of water, you must also give some quality assurance. And the development on the analytical side is not fast enough. You take out your sample, you go to the laboratory, you wait for hours or days and even weeks, if they are busy, as I say. But you can't wait like that. You must have an information directly. So that's why we work with companies like AquaQ. They give a presentation today. They have an online measurement where you can directly see if you have microbes in the water. We must develop much more such quality assurance instrument. Because if we recover the water to industries, they have other regulation we must follow. And we must be more clever to optimize how to use the water differently for green areas, for industries, for farmers, even for drinking purpose. The sludge in Sweden, we started to produce biogas, not because we wanted to have biogas, but we wanted to minimize the amount of sludge. And then we realized, oh, we got biogas. That was funny. And then we realized it was quite good. So now in Stockholm, this is the biggest plant. They have 850,000 person equivalent, and they produce like 10 million novel cubic meter biogas per year. And this is now used for transportation. And I think this is a very good way to use the sludge in big cities. Now they are using for buses and trucks and some cars. And now in our work we have realized that we can increase the amount of biogas by 30% just by optimizing the anaerobic treatment plant, because it has not been optimized before. So this gives a better possibility to even produce more biogas. And all cities, you have huge amount of organic waste. The best way to treat it is to produce biogas and use it for transportation. You are then lowering the pressure on the city at the same time. And on top of that, we are so proud that we can produce still 2 different buses using biogas. You also want to use the energy out from the treatment plant. In Sweden, we have connected the outlet water. We use heat exchanger, and then we connect it with the district heating and district cooling system. There you can also minimize the energy consumption a lot if you have a more open bubble to look in. If you look at the city, you treat the wastewater, and in this case, you use the biogas. And then you realize also you want to get rid of the organic waste, but also, in many cases, the manure from the agriculture. So what we are now doing is to optimize those different substrates to get the correct amount of biogas out from this. And then, will the farmer use the sludge residue? 26% of the farmers in Sweden say yes. The others say no. Are they correct? No one can in principle answer that question, because we learn more and more what is the ingredient in the sludge. So we have tried to choose in this approach that we try to produce a pure phosphor. It's better, we think, in the long run to go that way, because it's always a discussion if this sludge is good enough to use on the farmer land. And no one wants to destroy his own land. This is just a couple of projects that we are running, and we do it, I will also stress, with researchers from abroad. When we started this, all the owners of sewage wastewater treatment plant in Sweden say, no, we don't pay any research on reuse of water. And that's reasonable. So they don't have to pay for that. We got money from European Union, national funding, but for develop a solution for the world market, you must think differently. And we also try to minimize energy consumption by introducing Anamox technology, which was presented yesterday of Elzbieta from KTH. Here, the production of the pure phosphor, we don't know if it will be successful. So we have one alternative, that you treat the organic and take away the metals, so that at least you can recover the sludge. But we also need better sludge dewatering technology. On top now is like 45%. This is good. It is not good enough if you want to use gasification. We believe maybe that is the next step to produce hydrogen gas. Then you need better dewatering technology. We are also comparing different alternative technology to the activated sludge. Many of them mentioned here during the days. And we're also developing soft sensor analysis. And when talking about the city, one trend is that you try to develop small-scale solution. But as mentioned also here, the cost will be higher per cubic meter treated. But you can also have some advantages coming closer to the houses, and you can introduce some new technologies. One of them we will test is just to treat the black water on its own. But still we have for Sweden, there will be very new houses built up the 10 years to come. So we must live with the infrastructure we have, and we try to develop that. But one other main problem in the cities is that the piping is not very good. In many cities, like 30–40% of the water that should be drinking water will not come to you. It disappears. It also happens with the wastewater. And it's huge investment needed in the sector, so we need better solution in the future for transporting.
Austin,
Yeah.
Can we have it in 2 minutes?
2 minutes, thank you for that. I show this just to give you an idea that when talking about one country or one region, you must remember that there are a lot of actors involved. This is just one example. It is an incineration plant with heat recovery, with energy recovery in Sweden, built up just some years ago. And you can see here that there are 6 different constructors involved and 14 countries introducing technology. So that gives you an idea that never trust when people coming from Sweden or from whatever country saying that we will have all the technology here. We must be more clever to find the best technology worldwide when we build up the system solutions. And that's why I think I want to promote EBTC. We are also partnering in EBTC. EBTC try to take together the European knowledge and companies and connect it with India. And I think that is a much smarter way than that every 27 countries should go on their own. So it's better to find the way how to cooperate here. And I will also say one word about the European Union. They focus very much on the water issues in the period to come. They will give money for more demo sites like the one I mentioned here. They will also start up an European innovation platform with focus on water. Horizon 2020 will have more water-related research. Eco-innovation has a new call now, and I mean that for some of this is also open for Indian researchers. I really will stress you to try to join those initiatives because you must develop something together. So I ended up with this and asked you, Chairman, how many women you could see.
An old woman, but I'm sure there is a young one there as well.
Yes, you're right. To start with the old one. You start to be old like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I end up here because I think this is an opportunity to see, we must see the future differently. We cannot go on like we have done before. So you can take contact with me or EBTC to join this initiative. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Esther. All right. Dr. Tiwari, I would just like you to maybe respond to how Sweden actually is representing some sort of future technologies and what we are doing in India, but maybe in just a couple of minutes because we are running short of time.
Thank you. I really, at the outset, I will thank Professor Tare and Sanmit to have such an excellent platform of debate, and the themes and sub-themes were excellent in certain parameters. We had a debate of the highest order. Friends, I represent a financing institution, Housing and Urban Development Corporation, which finances infrastructure of all types, from water supply to sewerage, drainage, to urban local bodies of the country and throughout the length and breadth of the country. We do also finance the state-of-art technologies. And the technologies presented here in the conference and we have been debating for a zero discharge in rivers, and as our policy of reform agenda of both the Nehru Mission and HUDCO financing, we have been trying to advocate a full pricing mechanism. We have sanctioned some 100 water supply projects in the country where we have advocated and tried to have full price recovery. In the first session, we were having a debate of pricing. We also have some of the legislative frameworks, model legislative frameworks in which we have worked. One of the most important areas of our research institute is to fund research studies, R&D activities for both industry as well as IITs. And I would request my fellows from IITs to take advantage of that, where we fund